What's up, you guys? Welcome to Fightful. Here with a name you know. You're going to see him. Well, you can see him every week on AEW programming on HBO Max, but you're going to see him this Sunday at Forbidden Door as he and Nick Wayne take on a couple of gentlemen you might be familiar with.
You might have heard of them. You might
have heard of them.
Maybe.
Cope and Chirstian, who are teaming together for the first time in 14 years and the first time on pay-per-view in I think 24 years.
Yeah, I think I worked out that it's the first time on pay-per-view since before Nick was born. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
It was Invasion, I believe it was. We got Kip Sabian here. But before we get into that, I want to show you another blast from the past, Kip Sabian.
Really?
Let's take a look at this. Who are these guys?
Dude, I was literally about to bring this up. You've beat me to it.
Oh my gosh. This was one of my first on-screen interviews that I ever
did.
Was
it really? No way.
Yeah. I did not do a lot of traveling for what I do until, quite frankly, AEW ran shows because they provided some media access. And that was actually at StarCast. And I've brought this up a number of times when people have talked about you. I remember you did you did that interview, but you also did a little bit of a scrum, and I thought you were captivating in that scrum.
Dude. Yeah, dude. I mean, but I'm pretty sure we talked about it back then, but I think that definitely comes down to the world of sport PR training that we did back then.
Sure.
As soon as it was straight to the media scrum, I was like, here we go, ready to roll.
Yeah, man.
How are you doing?
I thought you were captivating. I was like, they got a good one here.
Let's take a moment. How are you doing? How's your day going?
Lovely.
Having a good day?
Yeah, I'm having a good day. Listen, we're not sponsored or anything, but we're both rocking similar drink. I mean, if they want to hit either one of us up, I'm sure we'd be open.
I mean, yeah, if you want to just slide into those DMs, it's fine with me.
I would love that. At one time I hit them up and they're like, well, we're into motocross and stuff like that. I was like, come on. There's some natural wrestling crossover here.
I would agree, to be honest.
That Vinny Pacifico guy can't be the only one that gets energy drink sponsorships at this point. I
did have one with a company that now I'm not working with, so I will not mention their name.
Don't mention them. No. We don't do that.
You got to pay me.
We've given up enough free real estate here, but man, what a match you have this weekend. Cope and Chirstian, yourself, Nick Wayne, something you've been involved in for quite some time, and again, a major match on this show. But gosh, it's been a while since you've wrestled in London outside of the all in the 16-man tag. Has it been since before Double or Nothing, the 2019, other than that one match
in London? Yes, if I'm correct. I've done a few. I wrestled Robbie X when I came back from the shoulder surgery in 2021.
Okay.
And then I think I wrestled him again. It's just Robbie X. I think Robbie X is the only person I seem to wrestle in the UK. But yeah, I think the last time I wrestled in London, I'm pretty sure Tony was actually in the audience. And I think it was me and MJF, maybe.
Okay.
It was either me and MJF, or it was me and Tony remembers this, but I don't. Someone else at Rev Pro randomly, where I just turned up and Andy was like, do you want to wrestle? And I was like, yeah, go on then. Yeah, no, it's been a while.
So it has been a while. And I mean, you've been working with Chirstian and Nick Wayne for quite some time. How are you approached and told, okay, this is the direction we're going to go. You're going to be in this angle with Chirstian, which obviously they put an awful lot into with him having the contract and all that stuff throughout the last year.
Yeah, so I think a lot of it stems from I reached out to Chirstian a few years ago and just asked, hey man, I really love what you've done with the transition of what you're doing right now, and I'd love any feedback, anything, tips that you can give. I really and because I mean, let's be honest, when it comes to on the microphone, he's one of the best to ever do it in that department. So I just wanted some feedback, and that's started the whole thing. And I guess we're kindred spirits in that. And yeah,
I'd love to imagine that you're I love what you're doing with the dead relatives.
Yeah, I really like how you're taking things a little bit too far with people's dead relatives. Let's talk about it. But no, it's just one of those things where, as a lot of things in my career have happened, things just fall into place. And I mean, I've had probably one of my favorite years in wrestling over the last year. But there comes a time where you've got to realize, am I just repeating past mistakes, and where can I go going forwards? And I mean, let's be honest and talk about Nick Wayne for a second. Nick Wayne is probably the best 20-year-old wrestler that I'd go out there and say he's probably the best 20-year-old wrestler of all time, easily. The mind that Nick Wayne has for such a young person is unreal, and you can tell the impact that Chirstian has had on him. He's like a sponge, and I mean, I regard myself as being a sponge in pro wrestling. I always want to try and learn, always want to try and move forwards. I mean, we've talked about it before, but with Nick, it's great to see. So siding with Nick in that, I think, is the smartest decision to go with here.
You started when you were 17 or 18? Like, you were pretty young,
17,
weren't you?
17. Yeah. I started way back when. My initial dipping the toes into pro wrestling was actually me and Ospreay as children backyarding together. That's the.
How old were you?
I mean, I've seen prodigies, but again, young teenager child at that point. You know, just I used to travel to his on weekends. I would get a train, which was about 2 hours. And we were talking about the other day. I found a route that I could take that meant I didn't have to pay for the last part of the trip. So I would I'd get a train from where I was in Norwich. I'd get it all the way to London, but I'd stop early at Stratford. I'd hop on an underground line, hop on a different underground line, and then hop a fence. So I didn't have to pay for that part of the trip. Yeah, I used to every couple of weeks we'd go in backyard. It was some of the best. But talking of prodigies, I mean, Will back then always was he's always.
So how did you all connect?
I had my backyard company that I was a part of. It's so weird to talk about like companies, because to be fair, I think the organizational skills of backyard wrestlers in the UK back then was probably way more organized than pro wrestling in the UK back then, I think, to be honest. Like, independent wise, like, we had storylines, we had individual federations, and we would occasionally come together for what we would call an interfed. So it would be like my group of backyard wrestlers, Will's group of backyard wrestlers. I'm not sure if you're
Forbidden Door
with the original Forbidden Door. Kelly Six, who's a UK wrestler, he used to wrestle better, and it was his group, and we'd all meet together and do this, like, you know, the Forbidden Door of backyard wrestling back then. And me and Will just hit it off, and yeah, I got to watch him progress from, you know, being a teenager into the pro wrestling prodigy he is today. And then Nick is probably the only other person I've ever felt that about. You know what I mean? Where you can just tell that someone's special. You know what I mean?
This is fascinating to me, because listen, I was a backyarder too. Who wasn't that loves wrestling, right?
I think most people have been
onto trampolines, into tables and stuff. Like, it's the most fun. But is there footage that still exists of this?
There's got to be somewhere, but I'm not going to give it to you.
Oh, come on.
That's a deep dive find. You can find some of my my old stuff somewhere. There may be a couple of things out there.
There's a video of me wrestling in a match, and it has 50,000 views, and nobody knows it's me because I'm in a mask.
Hero. Didn't you have a match? Like,
I've had 40 or 50.
Not that long ago though. Not that long ago.
Yeah, I came back. I wrestled.
Was it with Shazza?
Shazza and Effie.
Yes.
And then I did a battle royal, and they said, "How long you want to be in?" And I was like, "As long as you want me in." They're like, "Great, you're starting and ending." And I was like, "Oh, that's not fun."
So, talking about battle royals and going back, blast the past. One of my favorite things about battle royals back in the day would have been when people would take it legitimately seriously. Where me and my buddies would just be, right, we have to do a battle royal as well. Let's get out as fast as we can in the best way we can. The amount of guys that would be clinging on to the bottom rope. No, I can't go out. I can't go out. You'd like throw someone over and they'd refuse to go out. It was unreal back then.
I got approached as the start or before the battle royal. A guy came up to me and he's like, "I've never had a match before." And I was like, "Well, buddy, I haven't had that many more. I haven't wrestled in like 8 years." And then he looks over and he's like, "I'm a youth pastor. I can't hit that woman over there that's going to be in the match the whole match." So we had to work around him, and he got in there. He had no idea what he was doing. Immediately tore my meniscus.
Probably not the best career path.
Yeah.
As a pastor.
Yeah. Yeah, youth pastor, that didn't work out. That's a whole different story for another day. But like, I like battle royals because they're chaos and they're fun and you can do
Yep.
whatever. Like, I think I stink faced a person in that match. That was fun. But I don't. I feel like that won't be an offensive maneuver that you use this weekend at Forbidden Door.
You never know.
Maybe.
I've been around a long time. There's a lot of tricks up my sleeve, a lot of moves in my wheelhouse that I'll occasionally bust out. Maybe a stink face will be one of them.
You're going to Scott Taylor backstage and you're like,
Yeah.
hey, can you get me in contact with the expert? They're running vignettes. You're watching old Too Cool versus ENC footage.
Dude, unreal.
Oh my gosh. So, and you know, I will say this. Cope and Christian, both older gentlemen, I have seen online. You are no stranger to being headbutted by older gentlemen. It's just usually they come from the audience. Kip Sabian, do you feel as if being headbutted by senior citizens?
Do you know what? That is
crowd?
actually one of the best moments of my entire career. The reason why, right, is this old fella headbutted me so hard. I mean, like, so hard, right on the bridge of the nose. And I no-sold it completely. Just looked back at him, said we won't say the word that I said back to him, but yeah, just no-sold it completely. I can't. When I saw a match with Robbie X, that was a match with Robbie X. It was. That was.
My mind was playing tricks on me because I was like, he looks like he got him hard with that, but you didn't
Real
react
hard,
to it,
bro. It's so hard, so hard. And all I was doing, like, I guess my shtick back in the day was very much a I would always, insult the audience, play with the audience. Like, that was just what I used to do. It was always fun. And I guess I was flirting with his wife a little bit too hard. And brother got a bit offended. And here we go. Headbutt to the nose. No sell by me. It made him look like an absolute coward. So, yeah.
It was.
I can't believe you found that. That's wild.
Yeah, I found that. I think I watched that, gosh, over a year ago, and I remembered it for this, and I was like, okay, I got to ask him about that because that one
so bad though. Oh, sucked. Like right on the bridge too. Like,
Speaking of painful moments, another bump that has lived in my mind is the ladder bump you took from SCU when you're just like sitting up there, and they just kind of tip you over.
Oh, dude, that sucked. That sucked so bad. Oh,
I saw that and I was like, you don't see a lot of, like, in ladder matches, you don't see a lot of bumps that are just like that. Like,
I didn't think it was going to be that bad prior to doing it. And then I did it and went, that sucks. Like, I don't think I'm going to do this one again. I don't really like this one.
It was rough looking. And
yeah, me and ladders don't go together too well.
You see the joy on Kazarian's face as he's pushing over the ladder. I'm like, what did he do? What Kip do to him?
Like, I do like the fact that now that we're in our 7th year, and it's amazing how much the company has grown over the last 7 years. And I've been very lucky to have, been along for the ride and, for the foreseeable. So it's that scenario of now we're at the point that you can go back and look at these old matches.
Yes.
And it is like a different lifetime. It's enjoyable to be nostalgic now, looking back at like some of those old times, like a match that usually doesn't get recognized as often as I thought it, or I would think it would be the Arcade Anarchy match, which there's some wild stuff in that. Like one of my favorite spots doesn't even involve me. It's where, Liv pops up through Statlander pops up through the claw machine and just completely shoves the glass, and it hits her straight in the face. And the glass afterwards had like a little like mouth print from her lipstick on it that was wild.
Yes.
Like just stuff like that. It's just fun to look back on now. Like, great times.
I always loved, I watched, I think it was the parking lot brawl. I happened to be near a WWE higher up and I was watching it on my phone because I was doing WWE media somewhere.
Yeah.
And for some reason, this WWE higher up was such a big Chuck Taylor fan. And they said, and I quote, he wrestles like somebody told him he sucks at wrestling right before he went out.
I love that, mate. I love that.
I was like, that's fantastic.
So I actually joke around all the time about this. I was a massive Chuck Taylor fan. He was in my top 5 for many a year, and I still tell him now that he's in that top 5 spot. I've always been a huge fan of his. So when someone else says that they're a massive Chuck Taylor fan, it's like, go on.
I think the awful waffle is one of the greatest moves I've ever seen in my life. Like,
agreed.
I love that move.
100%
Love that
agreed.
move.
The comedic timing of Chuck Taylor is very, very underrated. Very underrated.
Oh, it's incredible. Like, I used to follow the account just of his deleted tweets because they were really good. I lived for him tweeting Wrestle Kingdom. Like, it was
what a stud. Fun. What a stud.
Did you grow up a Cope and Christian guy, or did you miss some of that because of their absence from the ring?
So I would say that I was probably a Hardy Boys guy for majority of my like initial run with wrestling. But so my relationship with wrestling is a bit different. So I was not really a fan when I was a kid. I watched it, but I didn't follow the storylines, if that made sense. Sure. I just knew that I really liked the Hurricane, and that was like everything else around that was just everything else around that. You know what I mean? But the bit that really put me on to the ENC stuff originally would have been probably the stuff with Mick Foley, which I think that was the time when I went, wrestling is funny too. Like it became more of like there was more to it than just watching the matches for me. So I'd say that was probably where I got into them. And then obviously, you know, if you become a wrestler, you're going to go back and look at stuff from, you know, stuff you might have missed from back in the day. And I mean, I've probably seen everything they've ever done multiple times. To the point that, yeah, I'm a massive, and to be fair, I've been a massive fan of Christian for years, like TNA run Christian, like just following his career. If there's one thing, you know, Sunday is Sunday, and I'm going to hit him as hard as I possibly can. If I can break a few teeth, that's a bonus. But you can't take away the fact that what he's done throughout his career, I kind of see as something that I follow along with. I see a lot of similarities. I've not met a single person that's ever wrestled Christian that hasn't said to me, I learned something that I never knew about having that match with him or having that conversation with him. And I can say hands down the amount of times that he has made me see wrestling completely differently. And I would say it's fair to put out there that that's revitalized my career now. And I see, you know, some pretty awesome stuff in the future. So I'll always give him credit for the fact that, you know, I think me and him have that kindred spiritness. Do you know what I mean?
Is there a piece of, like, whether it be advice or just a light bulb moment that you specifically recall since working with him?
There's things I'm not going to say, obviously. The thing that I would probably say to you is, I've always been a promo guy. On the indies, I was known as being a promo guy. It's actually quite nostalgic. I'm going to bring it up anyway. I don't know how much time we have, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. So one of the first people to really give me a chance was a pro wrestler by the name of Ryan Smile. He started a promotion called Lucha Forever. And me and him were friends, and he said, I want you to do this. And the first ever show, he gave me a live microphone at the start of the show, the first one they ever did. And we were streaming live, and he said, just go out there and just cut a promo. And I think I did like 10 minutes, and it was like, I just got my character in there. I talked on the mic, I got my stuff in, and it really helped me get that like promo. And I built myself to be a promo guy. So the things that I thought I knew about promos leading into doing the stuff with Christian, now I see them in a completely different way because he's changed my viewpoint on how a promo should be, what you should say, how you should say it, and what you should leave unsaid. Whereas back then it was very different.
Very excited to see this.
Shout out to Ryan Smile. Shout
out to Ryan Smile. Rest his soul.
Yep.
This Sunday, Forbidden Door. You can catch it on pay-per-view.
Yes,
we are short on time. I'm very excited to see this match, but my wife would like push me down a flight of stairs if I did not ask you what your favorite Harry Potter movie is.
Prison of Azkaban. Favorite movie, Prison of Azkaban. Yep.
Said that it would be wrong if she answered it. I'll tell you a quick story because I am not a Harry Potter guy.
I'm a massive Harry Potter guy.
my geekiness kind of ends with pro wrestling, but I was like, once we launched this website, I was working a lot and I was like, listen, next year I'll take you anywhere in the world you want to go. She says Harry Potter world. And I'm like, all right.
Which one? The studio tour in London or
Florida? I wish.
Florida. Yeah, yo, no.
That would have been something.
No, the studio tour is great. We're gonna try and go while we're in London because my wife hasn't been. So we're gonna try and go when we're in London. But the Florida Universal like Harry Potter area, make sure you do the 2 parks in one day though.
We did, we I believe we did. Or no. One of them is one of them.
You've already done it. Sorry, do you say
no? One of them's new, right?
Yeah. So if you pay for both the parks in terms of like you pay for both Universal parks, you can hop on the train and you get the train across, and it's a ride of itself.
Ah, okay.
It's very good. It's very good.
We went there the first time. This was years ago.
Yeah.
And we were in like line to the store, and I don't know anything. And I'm like, hey, do you want this chili water? And she laughs at me and she goes, ha, it's gilly water. And she's like bullying me. And I'm like, I'm not the geek here for not knowing this.
No, but that's the place where the roles reverse at that point. It's like,
yes,
idiot not knowing.
Because I caught a couple people in line like, and I was like, I swear to God, like, I was about to fire up. I was ready to go.
That gillyweed. Gotta love that gillyweed.
Yeah, that's me. Guys, this Sunday, Forbidden Door. Very excited to see Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne against Hope and Christian. Kip, let's not make it 6 years next time, okay?
It would be good, yeah. If you ever want to talk to me, just let me know and we'll have a bit more time on an interview. That'd be lovely.
Yes, indeed.
We can talk
next
more
time,
Harry Potter.
my friends. Until next time, my friends, we are out. If you aren't watching wrestling with NordVPN.com/Fightful, you are not watching wrestling in the best way. I know times are tough. Money is tight. NordVPN.com/Fightful can eliminate your cable bill if you just watch wrestling. You can watch Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and PLEs on Netflix by changing your virtual location with just one click. You can watch pay-per-views at a much more affordable price when you change that virtual location and get the prices they're getting overseas. In addition, all the wonderful features that we haven't even mentioned. But right now, you save big. 4 extra months free and a 30-day money-back guarantee when you use NordVPN.com/Fightful. By the end of this subscription, you're going to be saving money. NordVPN.com/Fightful.